So there comes a time in most Big Four graduates' career where they start to consider leaving the Big Four for an external opportunity. The question I get asked literally all the time in the Big Four ready community is it better to leave as a manager or a senior associate to maximize your exit opportunities? So buckle up, strap in, get yourselves ready, because in this video, I don't know why I said that, it's not that intense, but in this video, we're going to be answering that question once and for all. Is it better to leave as a senior associate or wait a couple of years and leave as a manager? Before we start, don't forget to check out the Big Four Exit Opportunities Guide, which, in my humble opinion, is the ultimate resource to maximize your exit opportunities, and it gives you loads of information in terms of the roles you can go into, what you can expect in terms of hours, salary, application difficulty, and various other hints and tips on how you can leverage your Big Four experience to gain an external opportunity. So hopefully there should be a link appearing up here. I always manage to do it wrong somehow, but there'll be definitely one down in the description. If you want even more insights and insider knowledge, I've also launched a community called Big Four Ready, which gives you all the hints and tips you need to kind of ace your Big Four application, succeed at the Big Four in terms of trying to get an early promotion and maximize your exit opportunities chance. So we've already got about 250 or so members within the community, and we're going to be opening the doors again for another kind of group of people at the start of February, so there'll also be a link for that down in the description. Now, obviously, it's very important to highlight that every single individual's situation is different. You know, everyone has different kind of career goals, personal ambitions, and various other aspects like that make answering a question like, you know, when is the best time to leave the Big Four difficult. However, what we can do, we can, you know, look at the data and trends and research to understand the average trend. You know, on average, when is the best time to leave the Big Four? So we have some research from the University of Tennessee that's performed back in 2016 that looked at the difference in earning potentials or lifetime earning potentials between those that left the Big Four as a senior associate and those that left the Big Four as a manager. And what the research does, it basically not compares the salaries straight after leaving the Big Four, but looks at lifetime earnings. So it actually looks a decade on from when they left the firm to understand, is there a significant difference in the earning potential of those that left a senior associate compared to a manager. And I think actually it was looking at them at the age of 37. So, you know, if you join the Big Four at age 21, typically if you become a senior associate, you're leaving around 24, 25, so it's roughly around a decade or so later. The research found that those that decided to leave the Big Four as a senior associate, you know, immediately after qualifying with their accounting qualification, their CPA, ACA, or whatever qualification you do, earned on average £217,000 by the age of 37, whereas those that stayed on a couple more years and made manager actually earned a lot less at £170,000 per year. And obviously this is quite a notable difference, right? It's like $47,000 difference per year on average. So it's about 20% or so difference. And for me, you know, it's not really actually that surprising. It comes down to the skill sets or kind of lack of skills. You know, yes, a manager obviously in public accounting or in audit assurance does take on increased responsibility. Obviously they're looking after, you know, bigger teams, they've got to coach more individuals and various other soft skills like that. But in terms of the technical and the hard skills, you know, all they're doing really is increased depth in audit-based skills. And it's very rare actually that those audit-related skills can be translated in whole into industry. Whereas those that decided to leave after qualifying, you know, can develop a more diverse skill set and more diverse set of experiences in the time it would take them to become a Big Four manager. Think about it from the point of view of a hiring manager. Say you were a kind of financial controller or chief financial officer, and you're looking to hire a manager or a senior manager, something like that, for your industry or for your company. You know, which of the following candidates would you hire? You've got candidate A. Now, candidate A is currently a manager. Is currently, you know, a manager in Big Four audit and assurance. For the last 6 years, they've been managing, leading kind of really complex audit engagements. They've been, you know, mentoring staff and conducting audits, planning audits, executing audits, and reporting back the findings of the audit kind of tests to the client. Or do you choose candidate B? Now, candidate B, you know, they were at the Big Four for 3 years. They gained their accounting qualifications, and then they decided to leave for industry. You know, they've got that kind of basic audit background, but over the past couple of years, they've really honed in on those industry skills. So, you know, they've been involved in the month-end close down process, the financial forecasting process, and various other aspects like that you as an auditor kind of wouldn't get involved with. You know, which candidate would you hire? You know, for me, it's a clear choice. It's candidate B. You know, they've got more rounded experience and they've got actual industry knowledge. You know, if you were to hire candidate A, they would need a hell of a lot more time in terms of upskill them on the systems and the actual kind of how things are done, because obviously there's a huge difference between auditing, say something like a financial statements and actually preparing the financial statements. There's a huge difference between creating the forecast for something like an impairment forecast, a cash flow forecast, compared to actually auditing the forecast. Auditing is very much a high level sample based procedure, whereas in industry, obviously, to prepare these forecasts, you really got to understand the detail. You need to know that company in and out to produce high quality, accurate forecasts. And there's a huge difference between the two. And this is what I mean in terms of those skills don't always translate across. You get more responsibility, of course, in terms of soft skills and managing bigger teams and various aspects like that. But the technical skills you're developing in audit don't translate across necessarily into industry. For me, candidate B is clearly the better option here. If you hold all other things constant, candidate B is the better option. So in summary, and on average, and it's important to stress that, on average, staying at the Big Four and trying to, a couple more years to make manager will make you no more marketable or attractive compared to hitting that 3-year mark. And over the long term, won't actually increase your earnings potential. In fact, it may slightly reduce it. I think it's really important that people understand this, because the earlier you're kind of aware of this knowledge, the kind of earlier you can make more informed decisions about your career. Because a lot of people at the Big Four who have stayed at the Big Four and never left will tell you, oh, you get paid so much more once you make manager. And they're kind of just telling you that to keep you there. So this research kind of, gives you a bit of insight into what you could earning, and the fact that actually if you leave, the sooner you leave as a senior associate, the actual potentially better it will be. Now, obviously, this isn't going to apply in all circumstances, right? If you really love your accounting and you really want to go into something incredibly technical, say some really technical accounting, maybe impairments or revenue-based stuff, you want to be part of a senior technical accounting team in industry, staying to a manager is obviously going to be beneficial to you, right? Because you're going to get even more depth and understanding of accounting standards and various other aspects like that. So if you love accounting and you love the technical side of accounting, it makes sense to stay at the Big Four longer. However, on average, it's best to leave as a senior associate. So, it's really important to stress in conclusion that there's no one-size-fits-all answer to this. It would depend on your individual circumstances, your career path, and various other factors like that. Money might not be a big motivator for you, and you might enjoy kind of the learning opportunities and development, whatever they're branded as now, that Big Four offers you, and therefore want to stay longer. And that's absolutely fine. But, on average, the longer you stay at the Big Four, you reduce your earnings potential when you eventually do move to industry. So like I said at the start of the video, make sure to grab your copy of the Ultimate Big Four Exit Opportunities Guide. There will be the link in the description down below. And if you're looking for even more kind of insider knowledge and hints and tips, join the Big Four Ready community waitlist. We'll be launching the second kind of opening of that in early February. So get your name down on the list. Once again, the link will be in the description. If you found the video valuable, make sure you like it and subscribe to the channel, because we're going to be pumping out a hell of a lot more content in 2023 to help kind of set your Big Four career up for success. If you have any questions, thoughts, comments, hate, whatever, whack them down in the comments. I respond to every single one. Might take me a bit of time, but I will get around to it. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed that one, and until next time.